What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Trigger with Instructor Mike and Friends. I am the host of Trigger with Instructor Mike and Friends, Instructor Mike. We got John with Guardian Concepts. Marquise is out doing his thug thizzle, training folks all over the land. Midnight hour is close in hand. John, tell them about yourself. We got a good show tonight. If you're watching on Instagram, you can't be watching on Instagram. What the hell am I saying? If you're watching on Facebook, throw some hearts, throw some likes, show some love that you can actually hear, us, stuff like that. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, share this. We got an interesting show for you tonight. Go on ahead, John.
Hey, John Havercan with Guardian Concepts. How's everyone doing this evening? We are located down south from Chicago, down in Bourbonnais, Illinois. We can be contacted at 815-295-6031. We do the Illinois Basic Concealed Carry training along with advanced training, which is obviously the biggest key to all of this. And what obviously we always talk about, hashtag 16 hours is not enough.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to touch base on some of that stuff tonight as well. So pleasure. Let's get this show rocking, and we're going to have some fun tonight.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, so let's go on ahead and hop in. All right, hey, let's get the likes, the follows, the views up. I'm going to give you all a moment to go on ahead, chime in, tag somebody in on the broadcast, tag your favorite instructor, all that stuff. I'm just now seeing a notification on here that is just popping up on Security Training Concepts. Plus, I also want you to, hey, what's going on? Yes. I also want you all to tag your favorite instructor. Let's get them in on the conversation. If they want the link, message me on Facebook or even here, whatever the case may be. Let's go on ahead. We got an interesting show we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the situation in Chicago with Caden Ingram, who was shot by his mom. Can you guys, y'all remember I had Wi-Fi problems. Don't y'all talk about my shit for real. All right, let's throw some thumbs that let me know you all can still hear stuff like that. What's going on, Elijah Israel? What's going on, Little JQ? Mark, is it Villalon? Hope I said that right. Good evening, fellas from South Texas. What's going on? Christine, how are you? Dominicus, what's going on? Justin, what's going on? How are you? I see it. Yeah, I'm just getting notifications from other people. What's going on? What's going on? All right, here we go. Let's go on ahead and dive into it. So we're talking about Caden Ingram in Chicago and then red flag laws, okay? For those of you all who are not familiar with the story, we will go on ahead and play it so that way you can go on ahead and get an idea of it. We're going to go on ahead and dive into it too. And we're going to have some instructor conversation here to talk about maybe some of the differences between law enforcement, military training, and concealed carry of firearms, civilian training in Illinois, and some of the things we wish we had control over, because I think there are some preventative things that we may or may not have, we may have been able to do. What's going on, Primo Fontaine? What's going on? Some things we might have been able to actually do to change some of the circumstances that occur in some people's lives, I guess you could say that. Appreciate that. And then felons getting gun rights, nonviolent felons getting gun rights. We're going to have a conversation into that. The United States Supreme Court is set to look at a case that has sought a petition for certiorari to be looked at in the Supreme Court, and we'll talk about that as well. So let's play this. We're going to go ahead and start off with Caden Ingram, straight out of Chicago. Let's go on ahead and look at this. This is a very sad situation. Let's go on ahead and look at it. Here we go.
Tonight, as the mother sits behind bars, her family speaking out about mental illness, saying that topic should be front and center in this tragedy. Caden Ingram was only 12 years old.
He was the joy of my life. You know, he was everything that a father could ever want in a child.
The 7th grader shot and killed on Saturday morning inside of his home on the city's south side. Police say the shooter was his own mom. Felon Harris now facing murder charges.
It's a hurting feeling. It's undescribable.
Caden's dad got the call just a short time after investigators say Harris opened fire inside of the home in 8,000 block of South Bennett Avenue. The shots fired after investigators say she asked her son to hand over a memory card. When he didn't have it, detectives say she shot him. The child was still conscious, but that's when investigators say Harris walked back again and opened fire a second time. Caden died.
Because his mother is a loving mother. She loved him more than she loved anything in this world.
Family members say Harris was struggling mentally. They say she just saw a therapist the day before the shooting.
People need to know that mental illness is real.
Right now, Harris is held without bond on the South Side. I'm Alexis McAdams, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
You know, yeah, this was something that really was disturbing. It was disturbing. I think that, oh, you're muted, John. Here we go. This is something that was really disturbing. Yeah, let's share this and get people watching. Hell without bond. Yeah, absolutely. So you all in the comments, before we get into it, let me tell you what I heard on the bond proffer. Okay. Because sometimes news media outlets could take certain information and not talk about it because obviously they wanted to get a react quote, you know, from the dad, stuff like that. So it was in the 1800 block of South Bennett. And this was according to Assistant State's Attorney Eugene Wood. Fallon Harris, mother of Caden Ingram, went to Caden and asked him for an SD card. And those of you, techies who don't know anything about it, I won't even call you techies, but those of you non-techies who don't know anything about an SD card, you Android folks do. iPhone, you guys don't. But the card is a little card. It could be, this size or maybe a micro SD card. And I'm trying to figure out what car would this go into. I've heard of USBs into cars, but I've never heard of an SD card. Neither here nor there. It was something that she thought her son had. And she asked him for it at gunpoint. Now, this was all captured on the in-home video surveillance camera. And when he said he didn't have it, she shot him. Okay? And he was crying. Don't know if he was on the ground. I think he was still standing, crying, had been shot. She then went to answer a phone call. And after completing that phone call, went back to him again and asked him again if he had it. When he said crying and in pain, you said for GPS modules. Okay, Justin. All right. Thank you for providing that information. But when he said crying, he did not have it. She shot him again in the head. This one was the fatal shot. He collapsed on the ground. And then I think two witnesses, family members, came to the door, and she admitted to them that she shot him over the SD card. They freaked out, natural response, and then called the police. Police came, and you hear in the background, people screaming and stuff like that, rightfully so. And then she admits to the police that she shot him. Went to, hey, Jacob, I see I got another instructor on here. Yes, Jacob, what's going on? Jacob, we are not going to say what you're doing right now. You be safe. Keep your head on the swivel. That's right. I'm glad you popped in. All right, here we go. We're talking about Caden Ingram, so I'm just going to catch you up on the story. I'm sure you've been watching so far. So, Jacob, I'll give you a chance after this to introduce yourself and drop the stuff on your business, stuff like that. But after that, she admitted to the police that she shot her son, okay? And this was all over SD card. This is very sad. Now, the family is citing mental illness. I'm finding troubles with that statement because I think that mental illness is used a lot as a scapegoat. I think it tends to be used a lot as a scapegoat. In this case, I don't know. I'm not that much of a. I don't even want to call myself a mental health expert. I'm an anger management specialist. Do what I do, whatever. A little psychology here and there. But we are all the education in our experience. We're just a collection of that. And having been an active police officer, responding to plenty of cases with 96 folks, mental folks, stuff like that, you know who's crazy, Minnesota, and you know who's using it as an excuse, you know. And for her to go and knowingly come after this kid, ask him at gunpoint for an SD card, he says he doesn't know it. Pop, she shoots him, he's crying, and then she sits there, has the presence of mind to go to answer the phone call, complete the conversation, goes back to him, and then the last shot, the fatal shot, was caught on camera. Ask him again, where's the SD card? Pop shoots him, and that be the fatal shot, and then claim. Now, let me explain to you what happened in bond court, because she might be playing the role like really good. It's not hard to play crazy. She kept asking for her mom. She kept getting into an argument with the judge. She got into an argument with the assistant public defender who was representing her, who talked to her, earlier that morning, asking her questions about mitigation, stuff like that. And so she had to be muted by the judge. I think it was Judge Ortiz or another judge that morning. And you can listen to the bond proffers and stuff like that on YouTube. Go look up Cook County Courthouse Light and Criminal Courts, Room 100. So anytime there's a major case in Chicago, the next day, that's the place you want to go, because they're going to bond court to listen to it around 12 o'clock p.m. every day, felony bond court. But I think it's used as a scapegoat. And I'm going to throw it up here, Elijah, and then I'll open it up to you guys. I agree it's a scapegoat to shoot your child and then leave to answer a phone call, then to go back to shoot him in the head. That's ill. I also think that that's intent, too. Like, you knew what you were doing. These are several steps that you've taken in this. What are your thoughts, John? I'll open up to John and then Jacob. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, any type of crime on a child is just tragic in itself. And then obviously coming from a parent is just makes it that much worse in my obviously my heart and my soul. Because as a parent, it's our job to protect our children, you know what I mean? Teach our children, protect our children, so that way they can excel in life and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we can go down a rabbit hole just on that alone. But to claim mental illness, again, either she's really that jacked up in the head, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, again, to shoot your child once and then leave to go answer a phone call and come back and shoot him again, you got some serious mental issues. Or the reverse side, you know how to play the game, and now you're going to try and use it to your advantage. And I mean, obviously that's going to go into something else we're going to talk about in a little bit, is, you know what I mean? If she truly was that messed up in the head, why was she in possession of a gun? Yes,
I agree. Jacob, welcome. We're going to have you on here more, because Jacob is Jacob and John are both Illinois concealed carry instructors. Go ahead, Jacob. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, thanks for having me on tonight. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Very well.
Okay. Hey, John. Peace out, brother. Good to see you.
How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on tonight.
No problem.
Yeah, I follow, even though I'm probably 5 hours south of you guys, I follow what's going on, because 90% of the criminals I've dealt with in my career come from Cook County. So I tend to follow along, with what's going on up there. No offense to Cook County, but that's just the way it is,
Right.
No
matter of fact, it caught me. I don't know how long I can stay tonight, because I'm a little bit busy right now. Let's just say.
That's why I said you did. That's cool. Yeah.
But thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. It's an honor and a pleasure to have me on. I heard about what happened. I read about it on the news, and probably the thing that disturbed me the most about that situation was I heard that lady was a Chicago city employee.
Yeah.
And had a valid concealed carry license.
Yes.
So that kind of tells me that was, at least at one time, straight in the head. She went through the steps. She did everything she had to do. She followed the rules. She jumped through all the hoops. She was a decent, employee, law-abiding citizen. And then something, to me, it just looks like something snapped. And I can't explain what, because I don't know the details. But kind of like John said, and I'm sorry I missed the first 10 minutes or so. I don't know what you said, Mike, but how does a mother in a rational state of mind, a reasonable, normal state of mind, do something like this? I don't understand that. I can't wrap my mind around somebody in a normal right frame of mind doing something. So I kind of wonder what else is going on that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that because I missed the first 10 minutes of the conversation or so. So I'm not sure what you guys were talking about. But the thing that I picked up on, number one, was how the fuck does a mom do that? Excuse my language.
No,
and number
fuck is
two,
fine. Fuck is fine
and
here.
then I was like, whoa, what? She had a CCL? I'm like, she actually had a CCL and then did this. Why that come out in the news, I don't know, unless it's to make the rest of us look bad. But that's not even pertinent to the conversation. That's not even relevant to the case, but yet they had to throw that part out there, Yeah. So I don't know. And I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
But we could go down that rabbit hole as far as having the news bringing up the CCL. You're absolutely right, Jacob. You know what I mean? It really has no relevance whatsoever.
Yeah.
But we've all known that the media will try and use certain things to increase their agenda or advance their agenda. So they're going to use whatever little bit they can to try and help that.
Right. You know what? So let's get into a conversation in as much as you can stay, because I want to capitalize on the little time you got here, Jacob. And John, you're in for the ride. But Jacob, just for a little bit, how have you dealt with students that have exhibited mental issues, and what have you done about that in class? Okay. Go.
So because that I make every student sign up for my class, call me and talk to me in person on the phone. Every student that signs up for my class, they have to call me and talk to me. I spend 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure them out on the phone. I've never had that much problem with students once they get into my classroom.
Okay. I've
had a couple with past trauma, with PTSD or depression, anxiety disorders. I mean, don't we all? I do too. I'm not ashamed to admit that. But I've weeded out a lot over the phone. Let's put it that way. When they call me to sign up, and I found out they've had more than two DUIs in the last 5 years, or they had a criminal conviction in Missouri, or whatever, this little stuff like that. I'm like, no, sorry, dude. You don't qualify. You're a prohibited person, so you got to go. Fix all that shit and then call me back and we'll get you in. But no, Mike, I have not had a lot of issues with my students.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, put it this way, Mike. I don't have a lot of students to begin with because I live down here in the middle of fucking bumfuck Egypt. And we don't have we ain't got a lot of people down here anyway.
Yeah.
So, I'm not dealing with 30 or 40 people per class. I'm dealing with like 5, that's it.
Okay. Now here's somebody saying the question, but that's not your place to weed out people for the license. That's the state's job. I disagree.
Nope.
I disagree.
Nope.
I disagree with you. I'm going to leave that comment up there. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. Let me tell you this. I have got, man, John, go. Because when I go.
Yep.
Look.
Hey, I'm going to say right now, yes, I absolutely disagree with this 1,000%. Yes, the state obviously has certain things in place that will stop people from getting a FOID card and this, that, and the other. But most people don't realize that a lot of CCL classes, you can apply for your FOID and the CCL at the same time. So the state hasn't even vetted them yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? The state hasn't had a chance to vet them yet.
Exactly. Yes.
So guess what?
Exactly.
I'm going to vet them. I'm going to make sure that I want them in my class, because at the end of the day, if I'm stamping Guardian Concepts or Instructor Mike Brown or Viper Defense is stamping their name on that person, that they're qualified to carry a gun, and something regretfully happens badly, and civil suits start getting thrown out like no tomorrow, because everyone in this world is sue happy like no tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You best believe our companies will be on the chopping blocks.
Yes, sir.
We will be a part of that blitz attack that goes down where they sue the state, they sue Guardian Concepts or Mike Brown or Viper Defense. They're going to sue, you know what I mean, the Illinois State Police. They're going to sue the Illinois government. They're going to sue the county government. They're going to sue everyone they possibly can.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you. Go ahead.
John, here's the thing. I'm not telling somebody that they cannot have a FOID card or they cannot get a concealed carry license. I'm just saying I don't want to do it.
Right.
You know, if you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. I don't care. I don't need the money. I don't need the business. To me, it's not a business anyway. It's a passion that I have for helping other people. But if somebody shows up, and I've had people show up to my classroom unannounced without calling me, they just show up. And I'm like, dude, you got to go. You know, I don't know who you are. I don't know your background. I don't really care. I'm not in it for the money. I'm just trying to share 34 years of experience with other people, law-abiding citizens who are trying to do the right thing. So it's not, I'm not denying somebody a FOID card or a CCL. Like you said, that's the state's job. I'm just saying, I don't feel comfortable training you. Now, if you want to call me, you want to get a hold of me, we'll go to the range one-on-one, we'll talk one-on-one, and I will get you there. Then I have no problems with that. But, you know, you get some shady people to show up, I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm not doing it. Not today. Not today, Satan. Not today.
And here's the thing, too. That was the next question that I was, and I'm going to read your comment. I'm going to read your comment first, Terry, and I'm going to go on to what I was going to say. State doesn't see you, player. They only look at the paperwork. We see the physical of that person, and people show you different in person. Anyone looks good on paper. I have to wholeheartedly agree. The thing is this: there is a difference between military, law enforcement, and civilian training. Military and law enforcement, we got to go through the gamut before we even get to any kind of training, things like that, you know, where if that doesn't weed us out, then drill instructors, drill sergeants, training, whatever the title is, that person can likely influence whether or not you continue to get the job. And it's like, it's funny that you get all these calls for police reform, but you've got no calls for civilian training reform, because I think they need to empower the instructors in Illinois with the ability to be able to have a direct line to the state police so that we can report our the behaviors of the students that we see in class. I've had people that have come in and have said, because I have had and still continuously have large amounts of students. I've had people sit there and say, oh, good, because when I get this, man, I'm going to shoot my boyfriend. Yes. And they said that in front of the entire class. And then I was like, great. Now that you've said that, not judging you, but I can't train you anymore. Why?
Yes.
Bam. That's dead. I would have loved to have been able to call Marquise. What's up? We got to add you to the stream. Marquise, brother Darkness, because that's where he's at. Yes.
What's up, Marquise?
What's going on? Hey, I apologize. I just got done teaching knife class, so I'm trying to drive back to the crib.
You don't have to apologize. You good. This is awesome. We got 4 instructors in the house. Catch up on it. Yes. What's up, Eric? She was psycho. She sat there and she was like, man, I would kill. And I talked to her. Understandably, she had a domestic violence situation. I get it. But in this situation, I can't train you. Wish I could have called the state, reported that. So
10, 14,
here we go into another situation where I've had, because different instructors teach differently. I'm a trigger. Marquise, I know, is a trigger too. John, I know you're a trigger. Jacob, you probably eliminate the stuff, so you're probably a little less of a trigger, but you can tell by that buzz cut, and I know you before, you a trigger too. So what I'm saying is this: real instructors who know more than just the curriculum, and the curriculum is just a piece of what we are, but our experience is far greater than that curriculum that we don't even regurgitate, because so we go so far past that curriculum is nothing. You say we're gonna trigger you. We're gonna find out if you're the right type of person who should be having that, because that signature on that certificate means a lot. And I'm curious, like, okay, so the question, Marquise, was and if you care to share, have you ever dealt with students who showed signs of mental illness, and what did you do in that class? Or not
All
the
right,
class,
so
with that person.
with that person. So
Yeah.
I would say this. Number one, I'm so glad you got perfect diction using the word trigger. So let's go with that number one. I'm so happy you have perfect diction. So I would say this, because I have had 3 students who, in my mind, I was like, kind of, I don't know how I felt about it. So only 2 of them did this, and I kid you not. I had 2 go get a mental health evaluation before I gave them a certificate.
Damn.
I did.
Wow.
But the thing is, and it sounds harsh, but here's my thing. If I'm signing my name on this, they're not going to say, oh, well, it was P6 fight. It was such and such fault for what he or she did. They're going to say, well, this person got a certificate from this company. And for me, my name means everything to me. My name is my legacy.
Yep.
You know, my kids have my name. So
Yes,
it
sir.
sounds harsh, but
Yes, sir.
in my opinion, I had the same conversation about parenting. I'm like, in my opinion, and this is how I feel like if you want to become a parent, you should get a mental health test.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
He's
You know,
funny.
but again, that's me being an a-hole.
Right. John, I'm glad to have John Jones on here because John said, I'm going soon, y'all some Democrats. John, you about to get the freaking knife hand. You about to have me sit here. You about to, boy, let me tell you something. We're gonna stay on topic because I'm glad. Welcome to the area. Because like Brigadier General Francis X. Hummel, United States Marine Corps said, you walked into the wrong goddamn room, Commander. You about to sit here and talk. We're not gonna get that. See, that was a trigger, Marquise. Let's go on ahead and let's push past that shit. Good job, John. That's nice. Right, and here we go, Eric. What does anyone's political affiliation have to do with this? Well, Eric, I'm gonna sit here and tell you it's got a lot to do with it because it is a known, and here's the funny shit too. I'm gonna answer this question and we're gonna push on. It's a known thing that regardless of your politics, when it comes down to gun politics, Republicans support gun rights, Democrats publicly hate it, but all the Democrats, for the most part, got concealed carry licenses.
Or armed security.
Or I was gonna say, or armed security.
Or armed security.
Yep.
Yeah. John, we don't sound dimmy. I think you're missing what we're saying because I was going to talk about red flag laws, right? I am not a fan of red flag laws because they are maliciously used to punish folks who deserve to keep their firearms but have malicious family members or other folks who would try to use it against them. This situation was one situation where I would say 430 ILCS 67, which is the firearm restraining order, the red flag law, this should have been applied. Like all these family members are saying that she suffers from mental illness. And of course, we were talking about Caden Ingram, the kid that got killed by his mom, right, in Chicago, saying she suffered from mental illness. Where the fuck were you? This would have been the perfect time to sit there and get those guns out of her hands.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Damn good point, Mike. Because
oh, go ahead.
Well, I saw on the news that she said she admitted that she owned 2 firearms. So where's the father? Where's the boyfriend? Where's the whoever that says, hey, this girl's having a hard time right now. She's going through some bullshit. Maybe we need to like make sure that her and them kids are safe, right? But I got a problem with them red flag laws at the same time. I got a big problem with those red flag laws.
I agree.
So I kind of see both sides.
I do.
Nobody wants some red flag law bullshit thrown on them with no due process, without your chance to have your word, without all that stuff. Nobody wants that to happen to them. But in this situation, maybe that would have worked.
That's
a good point.
Yeah.
Good point, Mike.
even like Javondalyn Duggan, shouts out to JMD Defense. Even her, she said we were at a red flag law. I forgot what type of gun forum it was up in the northern suburbs with state rep Kathleen. I forgot her name. You probably heard the name. She's so anti-gun, it's not even funny. But just a simple conversation with her saying, hey, let me go on ahead and get that gun from you, you know, set it to the side. Even if you don't report it to the state, why didn't anyone remove the gun? And so you got the father saying she's a loving mother, she's this, she's that. I don't want to hear that shit. No one was willing to die, to put themselves on the line, to sit there and take that gun away from her. I agree. Somebody should have stepped in. Here we go. John Jones, I'm going to say there, and I'm going to open it up to you guys. The father should have been, and Chrissy asked a question on here about the Brevard County Sheriff's ambush. I want to dive into that too. See what you guys think about that. The father should have been more proactive and mindful of the child's well-being in the care of a mental case mother. The whole family is to blame for this child's death. Just pathetic. You know, John, that's a trigger to a whole other conversation about fathers being able to step in, because there are permissive and non-permissible environments. And when it comes down to the court system, sometimes fathers have a hard time trying to be in the life of the mother because, or it, you know, actively, not relationship wise, but to be in there, to be able to step in and say something, because the mother, we don't know what kind of woman she was. She could have been a total itch bag.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
But
and it could have made it, pig Latin in this bad boy. And she'd have made it a non-permissible environment where the thought of him stepping in would cause him to lose whatever he's got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we don't know how she was as a woman with her child. We don't know that. Hell, even family members may not know that, or they might have known it and swept that shit under the rug. It's so many things, because what could make you, you know, kill your child? It's a lot of stuff that could make you kill your child.
No. I disagree, Mike. Mike.
Yeah.
What the fuck is so fucking important it could possibly make you kill your child? I mean, really? No, I don't. I disagree with you there, brother. I love you, but what?
Jacob, here we go.
I'm just saying.
You're right, though. I get it. Here we go. If you raise your child to praise you because you have deep psychological issues, and your child doesn't praise you, or your child stands up against you, or your child looks like your damn daddy, or your child, you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of psychologically ill issues, even insane persons, right, that can make someone decide under that influence to do that. Not justifying it. I'm saying it's bullshit. That's a whole deep conversation right there.
Right.
I tell you what, brother. I almost lost my job in law enforcement 16 years ago. I only had, 8 or 9 years in at the time. I was a lieutenant and going through a divorce, and my ex-wife being trying to punish me, even though I did nothing wrong. My ex-wife wanted the divorce. She wanted to leave my kids and out of my life. The kids were 5 years old and 3 years old. And I tried, and I fought for custody, and I fought for visitation, and I fought for therapy, unity, like family unity therapy. I fought her every fucking tooth and nail, and she threatened that if I didn't leave her alone on trying to reunite the family, that she was going to call the cops, who I knew because I trained them. She was going to call our local cops and say, he's a crazy combat veteran. He's got lots of guns, and he's threatening me. And boom, there goes my guns, and there goes my job. Because you can't be a cop if you can't have a gun. You can't have a gun, you can't be a cop. Boom, you're done. And I had to go talk to the PD, local guys, and say, look, man, this is what's going on. I had to talk to my boss at my job and say, hey, man, I'm trying to work this out. I just want visitation of my kids. That's all I want. I just want to see my kids on a regular basis. That's all I'm asking for. And to think that, that was before we had red flag laws, but all she had to do at the time was get an emergency order of protection against me, and I'd have been done.
Yes.
And that scared the hell out of me. So I feel for these people. I'm very reluctant to support any type of emergency order of protection because I've been there. I know what it's like to go through that.
I have
and
too.
Yeah, you too? Yeah.
Yes, I have too.
So
yes,
maybe it might help. 1 out of 1,000, it might actually help. But the other 999, you're just fucking with somebody just to piss them off or make their life miserable. Then there needs to be criminal sanctions, criminal charges against somebody that files a false report. That's what I think.
Yes.
If you file some bullshit charges against your ex-husband or your boyfriend or your baby mama, just to fuck with them, and it's unsubstantiated, then they should charge you for filing a false report. That's all I'm saying. Yep. I'll leave it alone. I'm done.
But it'll never happen.
Never.
It'll never happen because,
right.
in my personal opinion, as a person who dealt with it, I'm gonna tell you like this: the court system is not made for fathers unless you can prove the mother is insane.
You're right. Absolutely.
If you can't prove that woman is like licking windows and wearing a helmet, smacking her head against the wall, you have no standing chance. But it amazes me how history has changed where, and again, I hate to, let's play the history game. In colonial times, if there was a divorce, the kids went with the breadwinner. The kids went with the person who made the money. Fathers took responsibility, and they was the ones that was the breadwinner and took care of the kids because they were the ones financially responsible for the family. Now, you invented a thing called child support. Okay, so wait. So rather than you let me take care of my child, you'll rather me give money to someone else who doesn't have the means to take care of the child rather than just let me have my child and take care of him.
Yep. And I lost everything.
And I'm wondering if this guy right here, who's the father, if he fell into that same trap right there. I would not be surprised if that was the circumstance with him, that deep down inside, that could have been the case with him, and he had to stay away because sometimes it's like that. Like, in order for you to maintain what you have to stay away because it's all about the law of alibi and proxemics.
Yes, sir.
If I am not anywhere close, the allegation cannot stand.
Yep.
Like, well, I heard you say this. He was in fucking this state. You were in this state, or he was in this city. That could be proven. Nowhere around. So now you're obviously lying by virtue of proxemics. And that's sad. That is really sad. But that is
punishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the thing is that there is no punishment. So, and again, I hate beating that dead horse in the ground. But I've said this multiple times. People do stuff when there's no repercussions, and they constantly do stuff when there's no repercussions. Because that sense of power corrupts absolutely. I mean, not to be funny, look at certain people who took office. That taste of power can make a dictator fast as hell.
Yeah.
And that taste of power of saying, yo, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to lie on you to get what I want.
Yes.
Have fun.
Do you realize how unscrupulous you have to be to say, I'm going to lie on you to get what I want? Has anyone ever seen that movie, Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps? There is a line in that movie where Gecko is talking to the new guy on the block. He says, I'll stop telling the truth about you when you stop lying about me. That's powerful.
Yeah.
And that's something that you're not going to get in this day and age because it costs less than $100 to sue somebody.
You're right.
And here's this too. The criminal justice system needs victims. They need victims. They thrive on victims. And because of that, they're given all of these, laws and things like that to support fathers, to support mothers, and have fathers not be there because it makes them relevant. And that's sad. So this is a whole nother conversation we definitely need to have. And I will give you guys the last thing, but this is the last thing I'm going to say about it before we go to the next topic, because I think this is definitely good to talk about. Men, boys, teenagers. Don't get me wrong, ladies. We're definitely talking about protecting you all too, because all 4 of us train women and men too, kids, all that stuff. But this advice is for the guys. Pull out that fucking phone and record. I'm telling you, look, if the shit gets hot and heavy and you're around a woman or even a guy, I would definitely say a woman, pull out that phone and record, because it is not the truth that sets you free. It is the proof of the truth that sets you free, especially if you got shit to lose. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Amen.
I cannot emphasize that enough. And then walk the fuck away. Jesus, walk away.
Yes. Yes. You guys are spot on.
Run away.
Marquise, and Mike, you guys are spot on, And I lost my ass in that divorce with those kids. One of my kids I haven't seen in 8 years because,
oh my God,
hurts. Mama won. She's in the Navy now. She got a scholarship to the U.S. Naval Academy, and I'm so proud of her. But I have absolutely no contact with her for the last 8 years. And I've tried with the therapy, with the counselors, with the lawyers. But just like Marquis said, the judges don't give a fuck about what the dads want. They don't care. In this state, the dads lose every time. You got to prove she's a meth head or she's a freaking crazy, whatever. At least in my experience.
No, you're right. Mine too. You're right.
Dads lose.
It is.
Dads lose every time. And Marquise is absolutely right. He was spot on. And it's sad. It really is sad.
And you could
I don't care about the money. I didn't even care. I don't give a fuck how much money I got to pay to support my kid. That's my job. That's my duty. That's my obligation to support my kid. All I asked for in return was, let me see my kid. Let me have the quality time with the kid. And I lost. The judges didn't care. They didn't give a fuck about me. But anyway, I'm done. Mike, let's move on.
You're right. No. I'm glad this conversation went the way it did, because someone later on or even presently watching would need to see this, because I'm telling you, 16 hours is not enough. And platforms like this, where people get to chime in and hear the realistic aspects of the situations and environments that surround the gun. That's the shit you can't put in a class, because there isn't enough time. Like, if we don't talk about these things, you're just going to invite that gun into that toxic situation. Invite that gun into this and try to make that as the answer for the problems that we just don't address, won't address, or address and aren't being heard about. Yeah, that part. So I'm glad the conversation went there, and my heart goes out to you, Jacob. Damn, I didn't know it was that bad. Whew.
I'm not. Yeah, this ain't my own personal therapy session, but I just felt like I should throw that out there just to know that there are some dads who are trying to do the right thing, and sometimes it just goes that way. Even when you're the good guy, even when you're trying to do the right thing, sometimes it just don't turn out that way. But I never threatened physical violence. I never threatened anybody. Dads just got to learn sometimes. Hey, let it go. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe someday she'll come back.
Because I'm
all you can do.
All 4 of us.
That's all you can do is hope and pray that someday she'll see things on her own terms and she'll realize what happened and she'll come back. That's all I can ask for.
And it's like all 4 of us, our background training and records could all be used against us just like that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Just like that. Because all they got to scream, you need 4 letters. You need 4 letters for victory. PTSD.
Yes.
and
And
you
she
are
used
screwed.
that, and she used that against me. And
And
the
you know
judge
what?
didn't care. The
And you
judge
know
didn't
what?
care.
And one of my biggest problems with that, and this has always been my problem, you can put me in your wars, but you don't support me.
Oh, that's a whole nother, you know what I mean? Deep dark
You're right.
hole that we could roll down, Marquise. You know
Yep.
that.
Yeah. And trust me, I understand completely, because I'm going to say it like this. I had it, and it's gone. But I'm going to also say that certain environments might have triggered it, where now, with no medication, I'm perfectly damn fine. So
Good for you.
again, let's
That's good. I'm
and
glad.
that's why, and this is why I tell people, I'm like, honestly, let's not pretend that, and I hate to use the word triggered for one reason. I'm glad I got perfect diction to say it though, but I hate to use the word triggered for one reason, because it means that anything can make you go off. You know what I'm saying? When you pull it, like, how does the trigger go off? Well, something or someone has to pull it. I don't want to ever use the word trigger for me, only because I don't want to give anyone that much power. If you got that much power over me, I'm screwing up somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I
I
believe
think I might have to disagree with you. Because, I mean, we talked about it where obviously I opened up about my PTSD and everything else. And the big thing is, and I obviously, the only way people can really talk it and understand. So, like, for me, I know what my triggers are. I know certain things to avoid, certain smells to avoid, certain areas to avoid, based off of the fact that, you know what I mean, where I, again, had no control and I had a reaction.
right, but you just said it. You remove yourself.
Yes.
That's
But
my
I still call them triggers.
point. You remove yourself. You don't allow someone to trigger you.
Oh, no.
You
Someone else
remove
is not
yourself
gonna
from the
trigger me.
situation.
No, yeah, someone else is not
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
That's my point. No, that's why I said I don't want to give anyone else
Okay.
that type of power.
I got you.
That's what I said.
I got you.
Now, again, I know for me, what helped me get through one of my biggest incidents was my youngest son being in the back seat on the 4th of July. It was my first week home from being in the Marine Corps, and I was done. I have signed my paperwork. I'm now a civilian, and I'm in Chicago, and it's the 4th of July. The fireworks went off, and I almost had an episode until I saw the back seat. My son was having an episode.
Yeah.
And because my son was having an episode, I'm like, well, damn, you selfish little human. Now I can't have my episode. I got to be strong for you and cut off my episode. Fatherhood. What the hell? But I tell you what, it was that made me just come down like, wait a minute. Okay, I got to be calm for him. And maybe when he's turned his back, I can go ahead and freak the hell out. But you understand what I'm talking about, what I'm saying. No one else, I'm not giving no one that power.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll run like a bat out of hell. Dude, I would Jesse Owens any day of the week rather than get in trouble.
Or
Like,
Jesse
you can call
White.
me right, Jesse who?
Jesse White, the tumbler. Keep going. Secretary of
You want
State.
me to tumble?
No. I don't know. Just don't mind me. I'm stupid.
Yeah, I'm like, you want me to tumble at the situation?
No,
I
just
don't
jump
know
in
how
the
the
air,
hell
tumble,
works.
keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather be an itch bay than to go to jail and become someone's itch bay.
Adele Treese.
Big
Man,
Daddy Boo Woo.
like I'm not
Big
trying to
Daddy
wear a
Boo
clean
Woo.
mop on my head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put a clean mop on your head and pass you around like a pack of cools.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Big Daddy Woo Woo make you scream woo woo woo.
You are something else.
Talk about some loose squares.
All right. Let's push on because we could keep definitely talking about this. So there is a United States Supreme Court case, and it really has not happened yet. It's in conference. Roundtree versus Garland. This is a case out of Wisconsin where a person was convicted of a felony. Thank you, Christy. Here we go. The felony of failure to pay child support. Right in the fucking alley we were trying to leave it. Here we go. Failure to pay child support right out of Wisconsin. And, he back paid his child support, paid his, debt to society, and was trying to seek remedy of his firearms rights. Well, of course, went to the Wisconsin Supreme Court and they denied it. And so it's there was a petition for certiorari to the United States Supreme Court, Roundtree versus Garland, Merrick Garland. And the central question of this is, what do you guys think about nonviolent felons getting their gun rights back? What do you think about that?
For me, again, as long as it's nonviolent, again, you got to look at obviously case by case, but for the most part, nonviolence, felons, they got busted with weed prior to weed getting illegalized. You know what I mean? And even though they got it expunged, it's still showing up on their arrest record. So they still can't get a FOID card because the state police see their arrest record. And like I said, even though the conviction is gone and was expunged, you know what I mean? Because they needed to get a job, but the state police still see that arrest record. So they're still getting denied. Because again, it's, you know what I mean? Well, now it's technically legal, but at that point it wasn't. So you broke the law and they're still following that.
Right.
So, like I said, using that as an example, you know what I mean, of something that, again, and wasn't even crazy. They got popped with a dime bag of weed. Okay.
Right.
What really were you doing that was going to hurt someone?
Right.
And like I said, that's just one of like 1,000 different instances. You know what I mean? That's just one of
Yeah.
I don't know what your guys' opinion is on this. That's a good topic right there. That's a good subject. And I will tell you that in my 25 years in law enforcement, I wouldn't hesitate one bit in allowing prior convicted felons in reinstating their firearms rights if they were nonviolent felons. There are certain crimes. And I'm guilty as anybody else. I'll book them, I'll cuff them and stuff them like anybody else because they're felonies. But at the same time, think, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. You're going to lose your rights for life because you got whatever. Maybe we need to reclassify some felonies as a misdemeanor, or we need to consider first-time nonviolent felons after 5 years or something, whatever, reinstating their Second Amendment rights. I got no problems with that. Because if you fuck up and you commit another felony, I'm booking your ass back to jail anyway, right?
Right.
Regardless. So I don't really care. I'm okay with that. That's a good question.
I feel like this: a nonviolent felony, after so many years, should be reduced to a misdemeanor. Because, come on, man, like I've heard people who got felonies for bench warrants because they forgot to show up at court for freaking speeding.
Yep.
Or a parking ticket. Because you can get a felony for a bench warrant. And you have to go over there, back down to wherever you got to go and explain yourself away to understand, like, hey, you know what? I missed my court date. I'm sorry, but blah, 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 blah. You got to spit that game. But I feel like this, after so many years, drop it down to a misdemeanor. And after so many years, that misdemeanor can be removed, expunged, or whatever else. Because I feel it's stupid to have. It sounds like an oxymoron if you really think about it. Non-violent felon.
Yes.
It sounds like a skinny fat person.
Larceny, or over $1,000 of retail theft, get you a felony. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So that means what does that mean? I don't give a fuck about that. After 5 years, if you did all your stuff and you followed the law, you did your probationary period, you did everything you're supposed to do, and 10 years later, you still can't have a gun. You did something stupid when you're 18 years old, and now you're 50, and you still can't legally have a firearm. I think there's something wrong with that. I think we need to change that.
Or look at the fact that in the state of Illinois, you can get any business license as long as you are a nonviolent felon.
Yeah.
You can get any business license through IDFPR as long as you don't have any felonies of moral turpitude.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think that when it comes down to nonviolent felons getting firearms, I think that so I've been through the expungement process, and that's just like for misdemeanors, no, obviously no felonies, but the justice system is quick to arrest, slow to convict. It's even slower to return a person back to a status that was pre-arrest. It's even slower in that. So I would think that a person who has done their time, whatever that might have been, whether it been jail time, probation, and they've terminated that probation satisfactorily. I think that yes, we give it time for them to get the expungement, but look at the purpose of them carrying the firearm outside of recreation. The primary purpose is so that they can protect themselves. And the question is, do we put a timeline on self-protection? Do we put a timeline on saying you have to find you've paid your debt to society, you are off papers, as they say, but you have to wait 5 years to be able to carry a tool that levels the playing field against someone who may use that like tool against you? Or do we say after the probation or the mandatory supervised release is terminated satisfactorily, you are automatically allowed to apply for your FOID and your concealed carry license, and instead of having the same stipulations as someone who has never been convicted, meaning that you got to go through 16 hours of training, maybe you have to go through 32 hours of training, right? Instead of you getting a license for 5 years, maybe you get a license for 3 years, and every year you got to get fingerprinted just to make sure you're not getting in trouble. You see what I'm saying? Put some extra stipulations, kind of like a gun parole probation type thing. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, well, so that's why I was going to talk about that because, like, obviously, you know what I mean. You're riding a fine line there. You know what I mean? If you reinstate right away, you don't know if somebody's spiraling. You know what I mean? Let's say they got busted for larceny. You know what I mean? Because they just started doing heroin. You know what I mean? And so they did it once, and now they want it, and so now they went out and robbed somebody for $1,000, and now they got popped. It's a non-violent felony. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden they get right back out, and all of a sudden, bam, they're right back into the same mix. Now we give them a gun. Let's say they graduate. You know what I mean? Now they graduate to a violent felony.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we gave them a tool right off the bat, you know what I mean? Because we didn't realize that they had issues.
Yeah.
But you know what? I listen to Bond Court every day, and we have recidivists all the time. So, hey, Two Alpha Dad, we have, and Chrissy Mayberry, I'm going to get to your questions too. We have recidivists all the time who commit gun crimes with the current laws that we have in place. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, you are correct. So, with the nonviolent felonies, do we put a certain stipulation on nonviolent felonies except drug crimes?
And that's it's something, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, we can go down a million different roads though with that. Like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? There's million different roads we can go with that.
I mean, let's face it, fellas, that's above our pay grade. That's for people way smarter than me to figure out, but I think they should figure something out. I do agree that there should be a way for first-time nonviolent offenders to have their Second Amendment rights reestablished somehow, some way, but I don't know what that is because I'm not smart enough to figure that out.
Oh, no, and that's the thing is, yeah, obviously that's above our pay grade, but at the same time, I'll say this. It's people like us out here doing what we do right now, bringing awareness to it, and the public out here responding to it. And then the more, obviously, following that there is, that's how change is made.
Yes, sir. You're right. contacting your local representatives and getting that ball rolling is how things change. You know.
Yeah. And these
You're
type
right.
of conversations
You're right,
are the
John.
conversations that are definitely needed because, as Christy Mayberry said, it's not fair to the ones who have done their time and been upstanding citizens to not have the right to protect themselves when criminals have guns anyways. I
I agree.
wholeheartedly agree with
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
that's a perfect statement. And that's the basis of the Roundtree versus Garland case in conference with the petition of certiorari to the United States Supreme Court. And it's one good thing that newly approved or newly confirmed Justice Amy Coney Barrett is on the court because she wrote an opinion in the Cantor decision and a dissenting opinion that, and as applied. So whenever you're challenging a law, it's challenged on two different ways. It's on its face or as applied. In other words, if the law is unconstitutional on its face, that means just on its face, it's just against the Constitution. And here's the arguments why. But on an as applied basis, it's a case by case basis. And it's, which is what I would like to see. Nonviolent, it's just like expungement. Okay. And I'll give you that because you can also go on YouTube, right, and listen to Courtroom 101 at the Lighton Criminal Courthouse building. And so, I like that because you get to see inside from your seat, wherever you are, and get to see how the process is. People think expungement is a right. It's not a right. It's a privilege. It's an as applied basis. Should you, given your circumstances, your history, your background, your presentation, what you're currently doing right now, and what you've done to rehabilitate yourself, should you be allowed the privilege of being able to say that arrest no longer exists, or it exists, but the public can't see it vis-a-vis a ceiling? And so I think that an as applied basis, as it relates to nonviolent felons, if you will, being able to petition the court immediately. I don't even want to see well, okay, all right, maybe that's too much, right? But I think there's a difference between expungements where a time has to have passed after the termination of your probation, whatever the case may be, your mandatory supervised release, because that's just expungement and sealing. And then the activation of your Second Amendment rights, because we're talking about a tool you're going to use to protect yourself. And so given that it's a difference, I think after it's over with, immediately you should be able to apply for that, and then counting the fact that would be good for expungement too, that I applied for my Second Amendment rights to be restored. I was given the restoration, and in 5 years, I have not been in trouble since. I've been granted a great privilege, and that's the privilege to be able to, even though it's a right, you get what I'm saying? I've been able to own this firearm for 5 years, and here we are, time to expunge. If that shit doesn't qualify for expungement, I don't know what does. I've had a gun all this time, have committed no crime, no nothing, and I've acted as a responsible citizen, protecting my family, doing all the things I'm supposed to do. That would look, I don't know. What do you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? I mean, again, we can go down a million different roads with it, but essentially, yeah. I mean, if they get, obviously reinstate your gun rights, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, again, 5 years down the road, you haven't done a single thing wrong, unless you're really good, you just haven't gotten caught. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? There are career criminals that have done thousands of crimes that have not gotten caught.
Yeah.
It's only that one time that they got caught, and you know what I mean? That's what they got busted for, but they robbed 15 other people the week before and just didn't get caught.
Right.
So it just depends, you know what I mean? But like you said, I am definitely a fan of the fact of nonviolent felons getting their rights back. Obviously, they've done their time. They've proven themselves to society. I mean, whether they get it back right away or we put a time stipulation on it, whatever the case may be, there needs to be a way for them to get their rights back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get the fact that, you know what I mean, people can sit there and say, well, they gave up their rights when they committed a crime. Okay? I get it. You know what I mean? They were stupid. Everyone makes stupid decisions at different points. We've all made stupid decisions.
Dude, yes.
It just constitutes whether it was criminal or not. Again, did we get caught or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can I tell you a story?
Bar fights, I would say, how many bar fights have people gotten into?
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
How many bottles have been thrown at people inside of a bar?
Yeah.
Aggravated battery.
Agbat.
Yep.
Agbat.
Yeah.
Okay? Just because you didn't get busted for it doesn't mean you made you didn't make a stupid decision.
Correct.
Can I tell you guys a story
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
about this guy was a young student from Chicago. He was at Southern Illinois University, close to me down here, right?
Right.
In the 618, God's country, 618 area code, right?
That's it.
This guy was standing in line at the mall to buy a new pair of shoes. He was a college student at SIU. The customer in front of him paid for their shoes with a credit card, and they left the store and they left the credit card on the countertop. This young man that I'm thinking of was next in line. He approaches the counter. They ring his new pair of shoes and they say, "Would you like to pay cash or credit?" The guy had cash to buy his new shoes, but he saw the previous customer's credit card laying on the countertop, and he says, "I'd like to pay credit." And he kind of slides that credit card over. It wasn't his, right? It was the dude in front of him. And the salesperson said, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm sure." Boom, they call. Next thing you know, we're involved. We arrest the dude. He has a chance to plead, right? He can plead out. He goes to Jackson County Jail. You want to plead? For some reason, because he's 18, 19 years old, he says, "No, I want to go to jury trial." He goes to jury trial. Boom, they bank him with a felony. Next thing you know, he's sitting in some minimum security prison in Illinois, right? He goes from college student at SIU to convicted felon at 18 years old over a fucking pair of shoes and a credit card, right? To me, that's just one of those young, dumb, I saw an opportunity, I tried to take it, and I lost, but I learned my lesson. And now, 20 years later, I still remember this guy because he was a pretty decent dude. And I felt bad for him. But to this day, he's still a convicted felon in the state of Illinois, right? As in the eyes of the law, he's still a convicted felon. And that's always kind of bothered me. That's always been one of those examples, right, that we all have of a guy who, he's like, man, he was just young and dumb. Give him a break. But because he refused to plead, then the state's attorney's office said, well, you want to be a jackass about it, then we're going to throw the book at you. And next thing you know, he's a convicted felon. And it's guys like that who I think should be provided the opportunity to apply to either have their felony, dismissed, or what's the word I'm looking for?
So expunged or sealed?
Expunged. Thank you, Mike.
Expunged,
Yeah. That was 20 years ago. He probably went on, finished his degree, got his bachelor's degree. He might be an outstanding young man somewhere nowadays, but he's got that over his head. He's always going to have that conviction over his head. And to me, that's just one of those things where, like, you know what? If that's the only mess up he's made in his life, I've made a lot worse mistakes in my life, put it that way, right? But for the grace of God, there go I. Because I've done some dumb shit when I was young and dumb too, right? We all have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I got no problems. If that guy wanted to have a gun today, I would have no problem with that. None. Because he was young and dumb. We all are.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Now I'm just old and dumb.
Same here.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob, do you walk around with a MERS too, like Mike?
Hey, listen.
Do what? What you say, John?
Do you walk around with a MERS? Do you walk around with a MERS like Mike?
Hey,
man,
look.
I have one that I use in my class. I only carry it.
That's it.
When I'm teaching a class. And I dare somebody to fuck with me over my purse. I dare you.
For class. Right?
I'm like, yeah, I got a purse, motherfucker. I dare you. Say something about it. Say something about my purse. I dare you.
for class and gun-toting
For
mamas.
class. That's all.
Shouts out to gun-toting mamas for this. Go ahead.
Marquise.
Marquise is back. What's up, Marquise?
Oh, you guys got the comments now. Frank Mac, Mercer Mike. Oh my God. You guys are gonna rip me in the comments.
Tell him, Mike, fuck y'all. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit.
Oh man. Hey,
Mike, I just want to say it's a privilege to be on with you. I've been watching you for a long time. I've been following you for a long time. I've been commenting on things for a long time.
You have,
and it's an honor, man. It's a great. I love what you're doing up there, all you guys. I got much respect for all of you guys, and I wish we were closer, so we could all get together, maybe have an adult brew, do some shooting on the range, learn from each other. Look at the experience. Look at this. 20, 40, 60, 80. We got at least 80 years of experience between the four of us. I guarantee it. At least.
More. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Marquise,
at least.
They go
say more than that.
We got to find something for John. And Jacob, you're more than welcome. We're gonna send you the invite to more than welcome to drop in. Love your insights, and I really, personally, man, I'm glad you shared your story. I know we try as hard as we can to keep shit in because we got to in certain cases to do certain things, but people needed to hear that what you shared about what you had to go through, and I know it still hurts, and I'm telling you, so without going down that road, if you guys appreciate these comments and this interaction, because this is the type of stuff that you can't really, we don't have enough time in a 16-hour course to talk about all this stuff, but this is the type of stuff that needs to be talked about. Because, John has the best beer. Jacob can't have a beer because where's Jacob working on? Jacob's still on the job, so he'll be able to enjoy it like someday.
Man, I had a big ass Viking beard for about 2 years. I got to grow one. I got a good one for about 2 years, and then that's it. Gotta go. Time to go. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later. See you later. Yeah. Maybe someday I'll get another one, but right now I gotta sport my baby face again.
That's it.
Hey, William, hey William, you better leave my wife's flowers alone.
John and his big flowers in the back. Hey, John is not having
leave
that.
The wife's flowers alone.
Yeah.
Leave the wife's flowers alone. Don't bring her in here.
Look, Marquise has got a red dot course. And I'm gonna plug his stuff, and then of course we'll end with everybody plugging their business and courses you got coming up. Marquise has got a red dot course this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys, if you're in the Illinois area, Chicagoland area, you got a red dot. Get your butt up to his course. He's got a bunch of other courses coming up. Same thing with Jacob and John. But I know Marquise has got his courses coming up this weekend. I got a concealed carry class this weekend. We'll all get a chance to plug our stuff and put our stuff in the comments. Get your butt in somebody's training, and I'm using butt trying to be nice and shit. Can't say butt and shit together, but get your ass. I know, right? It's just bad, all bad. But get in somebody else's class, because that's 16. Look, I'm telling you, that 16-hour class alone, you're gonna die.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to lie to you. That 16-hour course by itself, that's just a taste. And depending upon where you go, it could be a strong taste, right? But it's still nonetheless a taste. If you don't get your class, if you don't go do more training, hell, I didn't even know. Marquise and I didn't even talk. We were both doing one-on-ones right next to each other with our clients in the rain. And then those of you who've been following the show, Sandman Tracks, you seen him, me and Marquise on here. He was there with us too. Like, get out there, get the training, because that course by itself, if that's all you got, you're going to die. I'm sorry. If the real shit happens, you're going to die. You're going to die.
Even as instructors, we still go out and train.
Yes.
This weekend, I'm literally driving tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I'm driving to Oklahoma City for the Guardian Conference. So I can shoot with Vickers and Matt Little and Fossey and Chuck Haggard. You know what I mean? I'm shooting with all those guys.
That's a nice little drive.
I mean, again, we are training constantly ourselves to make sure we are giving our students the top training that they need in order to hopefully, if it comes down to it, be successful in the defensive encounter.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, this is my saddest moments because towards the end of the year, when the outdoor ranges are closed, I go train during the winter. So then that way I'm not missing any of the sunny days or lack thereof in Illinois because I'm out training somewhere. You know, like this is the bittersweet part of my season where on the 18th is red dot, 26th is rifle, and on the 23rd, last class of the season.
Yeah.
You know, that is bittersweet. Yeah. And you know, now it's like, okay, so now I've done multiple classes this season outdoors. Now it's time to go train, and I gotta go get my stuff recalibrated. You know, it's nothing wrong with going out there and just going out there and training, and stop pretending that the concealed carry course is your end all be all. It's not. You know, if you really believe that 16-hour course is it, we wouldn't offer more training if the 16 hours was enough.
Amen.
Let's go with that.
None of us doing this for a money grab. That's for goddamn sure. Because everybody getting rich off this.
And you can, and again, I'm not from. You know what? It is what it is. I try not to throw shade to instructors. Mm-hmm. I try not to do anything anti-2A because I don't want to give fuel to the anti-2A group.
Fair enough.
But let's keep it 100. If your instructor only teaches concealed carry, stop playing with that person.
You gonna die.
You gonna die. You know,
definitely.
You're gonna kill everyone around you.
Mike teaches concealed carry. He teaches security concepts. He teaches the unarmed and armed security class, and he's a licensed instructor for the state. You got John. John teaches concealed carry. He teaches advanced concealed carry tactics. He teaches TECC classes. He teaches other classes that involve your evolution after your concealed carry class. Then I have, unfortunately, he just went zoomed out, so I lost his name. The gentleman, thank you, Jacob. I'm pretty sure Jacob is called Viper Defense. He's not called blank concealed carry. He's called Viper Defense. So if I have to imagine, Jacob got a catalog. You know what I'm saying? Jacob got a catalog. I came on the show and I apologize. Hey, I had just got done teaching knife. I'm sitting here, I'm still sweating. That was an hour course of just straight up knife techniques. I'm still sweating from a course I taught from 7 to 8 because I don't play. I'm like, yo, you pay me money. We finna get this work.
That's right.
And if you think the gun is where it stops, you are not even sadly mistaken. You on crack.
That's where Fossey comes in this weekend. We're doing edge defense. We're doing in and out of the holster weapon retention, clinch fighting, confined space. All of that with Fossey this weekend.
Don't sleep on some of the other conventional weapons too, such as batons. They've got civilian tasers, Kubatons. They've got pepper spray. I got a baton close by. I keep pepper spray. I got at least 3 knives on me. Like there's always, I
had to count my knives in my head. I'm like, how many knives on here?
Marquise know I got the pants for it because he's like, how many mags you got in there? I'm just saying, you know,
all of them.
And if your instructor calls the class conceal and carry, you're gonna die.
You're definitely gonna die.
It's not conceal.
Wait, conceal and carry.
Yes.
Who the hell was that?
I have heard.
Concealed carry.
Yes,
Conceal
not
and carry.
Like it's
Conceal.
cake
How
like
about this?
it's-
Conceal to carry. How about conceal to carry?
Oh, yes. Like it's cake or ice cream. Look.
Yep. Sorry.
Stop playing. So now
Sorry.
because of you, I'm gonna start Googling to see who the hell is teaching conceal and carry classes.
Concealed to carry.
Conceal to carry.
Like
Yeah.
it's a road. Just conceal.
Oh, you'll see. Hey, you'll see products too. Conceal and carry purses.
You're gonna die. You're gonna
You gonna
die.
die. You gonna die.
That
Yes.
shit will get you killed. I'm just saying.
You'll see products too. Conceal and carry holster.
Good. Hey, Rhonda. She said I took Mike's class. I need to take other classes. I'm a single woman. I need to protect myself more. Hey, you can seek out any one of us, and I'll be the first person to tell you, you know, that house that you need to walk into that you will still end up maintaining, right? That house that you live in, multiple people built things in that house. So you get one person to sit there and say, I want you to stay with just me. You're going to die. Depending upon who that instructor is, right? Because there is
True story.
that, yeah, depending upon who that instructor is, but there are very few instructors who know 97 or 99% of everything. You're going to have to get your, like John's going out to Oklahoma City, a plethora of other instructors. I think Marquise, you're an ILEADA member. I know I am. Jacob, are you ILEADA?
What?
Were you an ILEADA member?
Yes.
Okay, ILEADA, John, ILEADA.
I was.
All of us are ILEADA instructors at the ILEADA conference.
Yes.
How many instructors are there?
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
This is why I followed you, Mike. This is why I followed Marquise. This is why I like John. Because, and I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody else, but you have to choose your instructors carefully. Because not all instructors are created equal.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say that. But if you got an instructor who went through 3 days of training and now they're a fucking expert, you're probably going to die.
You're going to die. You're going to die.
If you got an instructor who all they know how to do is give a PowerPoint presentation,
Hold on.
you're going to die.
Look at this. Hold on.
And I'm not talking.
In humbleness, we kind of started. No, hell no.
No, we didn't.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say nothing bad. But Mike, what are you doing?
Looking at the PowerPoint.
I can't even see it. But
I'm too
I tell you
slow
what,
for this shit.
I have been teaching for so long that I've been teaching before we had computers. I used to write shit out on a trestle, a 3-legged fucking stand with butcher paper on it, right? With my little pointer. Remember the little pointers back in the day? It pointed shit. Like 1990, I was teaching shit. Use of force, grenades, field of fire, patrols, ambush, now chemical agents, pepper spray, first aid, CPR, AED, blah, blah, rifle, shotgun, pistol, close range, church security, home defense,
Claymore,
schools, claymores. I mean, yeah, you name it, I fucking taught it, right? And I'm just trying to share 32 years, well, now I guess about 34, 35 years of that with people who are serious about it. I'm not going to give a PowerPoint presentation. I'm not going to YouTube them to death. I'm not going to video them to death. I've literally taught classes with no electronics whatsoever, just off the top of my head. And here's some handouts and field expedient method. You know, I can do that. I'm not talking bad about the guys who only have certain credentials. They only got a couple days and now they're a fucking expert. I'm not talking bad about them, but I'm just saying, if you are serious about this, you better choose your instructors carefully.
And if you are one of those instructors watching this, you need to have a mentor like or better than us to mentor you along your way so you are not sending people off.
Yes.
Test your stuff on us before you send the students off, because you can't send us off. We'll check you humbly, put you back on that road so you don't send them off.
I will be respectful. And I respect you, but I will correct you in a fucking heartbeat if I see something wrong. or dangerous or stupid or illegal or whatever, hey, bro, we're good. I just want to let you know this is wrong. I'm just saying, because
Right.
I've done that. I've been there and I've done that. I'm just letting you know you need to fix this.
Yep.
We're cool.
And
That's all.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: I am a training counselor. You know how many instructor classes I've taught? You want to know why I've taught not one instructor class?
Ooh.
Because I'm still developing a mentor program that once I'm done teaching you how to be an instructor, it's your choice if you want to be mentored by me and me to help you out.
Yep.
So I'm
great.
still developing and that's the reason why I won't teach one class yet, because I want to make sure I can give you something after the fact. Now, I know some instructors who have taught multiple training classes where they created instructors. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. An actual instructor class is $600. 300 goes to whatever organization you're getting your instructorship through. 300 for the instruction from the instructor who's actually doing it. I'm not stopping there though, because I want a mentorship program that not only am I saying welcome, but if you're trying to become an Illinois concealed carry instructor and you need to know what's the next steps, then you want to become an LLC. Here's your next steps. I'm trying to make sure that I have a program that's beyond here's an instructorship.
Yeah.
Which is why we develop programs where it's beyond here's your concealed carry. Excuse me, your concealed to carry.
I knew
Concealed to carry.
You know what I'm saying? That's why if you have an instructor who in their PowerPoint or doesn't say this verbally, one class does not make anyone an expert.
Right.
If that's not in their PowerPoint or they don't physically say it, you should have been gone.
Yes.
Because anyone that's going to sit here and open up them cheeks, put their hand up here and work their mouth like a puppet is full of it.
Yeah.
I can regurgitate whatever I hear. What did I learn?
Right.
Exactly. And I'm like you, Marquise. I respect that. I honor and respect all three of you guys. That's why I'm here, because I know a whole lot of instructors. I know a lot of instructors, and I train probably half of them, but I don't agree or follow along, or maybe they're not ready yet, you know. So I respect that you're a TC, but you haven't taught a single class yet, because that's good. That means you're serious about it. See, that's the difference. We all of us have a passion for helping others, not just trying to fill seats and make money. That's the difference.
Right.
I don't care if I teach 10 people in a year. I don't care. I don't need the money. I don't care. But those 10 people that I train, I know that I made a difference in their lives. I made a difference in their life. And that matters more than $125 for a weekend.
Yeah.
I know instructors who train and they brag, oh, I've trained 1,000 people a year. Well, good for you. But what the fuck did they learn? From a student's perspective, from the standpoint of the student sitting in a classroom with 50 other fucking people, what did you really learn?
I would say we
You know
all
what I
know
mean?
about places that love to cram 75
Yeah.
people in the class.
That's some of my problems, you know, with the national organizations that all they care about is making money. If all they care about is making money, then I'm sorry, you're in this for the wrong reason. I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it to help other law-abiding citizens. And that's just, I've kicked people out. I have sent a lot of people home saying, dude, you're not here to make money. This is not a business. You want to make extra money? Go mow grass on a weekend. Sell fucking Mary fucking K Cosmetics or something. I don't care. This is not another thing to sell. This is not a thing to sell. We don't market a CCL. We help and we train, and it's a lifelong process. And just like you said it, guys, I've taken 3 classes in the last 12 months, 3. And I've been doing this shit since 1986. And I'm still training on a regular basis. So if that says, what's that tell you? If I'm still training on a regular basis, what's that tell somebody with 2 days? You got a whole entire 16 hours. You got 16 hours of training, and you think you're going to go out there and be a hero? That's enough to get your ass kicked. You're going to go do something stupid and end up in jail or end up dead.
I ask one favor. You know? I always ask one favor. If you're only going to take the concealed to carry course, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm sorry. All night I'm going to keep doing that shit. If you're going to take a 16-hour concealed to carry course and believe that's all you need, can you please just put me in your wheel? That's all I'm asking. For just, I would play sad music and be like, for just 10 cents a day.
And real quick, I gotta chime in off of one of the comments. And Seth says, obviously, once the ammo gets cheaper, you know what I mean, ammo too expensive. Okay, I get ammo is expensive, but 22 is cheap as hell.
Hell yeah.
Let's be real. We're giving you tactics. Would we love for you to train with your carry firearm? Yes, but at the end of the day, we're giving you tactics. Okay,
mindset.
Tactics is what you need. Well, and mindset. I mean, we're giving you tactics and mindset. At the end of the day, you can translate and continue those tactics with your carry firearm. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure out what ammo is.
It sounds bad, but so many people want to use ammo as you know what I mean, an excuse not to get training.
Damn, if I could look at all the receipts of how much money
at what point does your life become more important than the price of ammo?
Hey, John.
I'm trying to understand.
Here's my response to that. When they say, well, ammo's too expensive. I go, really? Ammo's too expensive? Have you checked the price of a fucking funeral lately?
Yes.
Have you checked the price of a fucking coffin? Because that's some expensive shit. And there ain't no backing out of that. That's a deal you don't ever back out of. That is a forever box. You will never get out of a forever box. You think ammo is expensive? Good luck with that.
Yeah.
So what's the definition of expensive, though? Are we saying like anything over $20 a box?
Right.
Oh, who knows? I mean, everyone's talking just in general.
I don't even care. I'm just not caring.
9 mil.
I don't care. I don't care how much it is. I'm going to train, and I'm going to train, and I'm going to train to proficiency. I don't give a fuck how much it costs.
No. I'm asking because I'm looking at ammo prices right now, and I'm seeing stuff that's at $25-$30.
Oh yeah,
and that's low from what it used to be. Pandemic.
Everyone's waiting for pre-pandemic ammo prices.
You're never going to get
it. What everyone doesn't realize is that we're never going to see pre-pandemic ammo prices.
No.
We may get close, you know what I mean, but it's probably still going to be $5 or $6 higher. You know what I mean, for 9 mil, 50 round. You know what I mean, full metal jacket. We ain't seeing $10, $12 boxes of 9 mil anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
We're going to see 18 to 20.
And we might shut down again. 15. We might shut down again, so start stacking up you guys' ammo.
So
it's not you guys. Again, I know y'all good.
We talk about changing mindset, and so the I can'ts, the I can'ts, or I'm trying, or all this type of shit. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you have to change your mindset. In that, if you want the training, you're going to figure out how to get the training.
Yes.
What am I missing in order to get the training? Am I missing ammo? Okay, now I'm going to hunt down ammo. Do I need to drive to get ammo? Do I need to order it online to get ammo? Do I not have, let's say, you know what I mean, a 22 gun? Okay, what are 22 handguns going for right now?
Shit,
$300-$400.
Yeah. Like even for example, me and Mike, I think it was last Friday. Last Friday I was at the range. And I had bought a couple of boxes of 308 up there just to test out one of my precision rifles.
Yeah.
Y'all would call them sniper rifles, but we call them precision rifles in the adult world.
Right.
But so I had him out there.
Defensive marksman rifles.
Sure. My shit's a bolt action. Ain't nothing defensive about that.
Right.
You better that shit. Hey, my M24 was a defensive marksman rifle.
Understandable. And that's but that's a semi, correct?
Huh?
That's a semi?
No, that was bolt.
That's bolt? Okay, you're still my hero. So I'm gonna tell you like this. Because I love that gun, I searched for cheap ammo. Well, excuse me, inexpensive ammo. I don't like the word cheap. I hate the word cheap. So inexpensive ammo. Man, I found 308 147 grain for $18 a box. The minute I found that, I bought 200 rounds ASAP.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
less than $1 a round, that's good enough. Less than $1 a round, that's good. Let's go. Let's do this.
And if you want it and you want to be trained, you're going to find the prices you want and you're going to go get the ammo. Like these gentlemen said, dude, there's 22 everywhere.
Yep.
But that's the scary part, because what people don't realize is that the 22 was the assassin's round.
True story.
It's an assassin's round. And the reason why the 22 was an assassin's round, because back in the day, the 22 is the easiest gun to suppress. So I hate to, be that person, but if it was good enough for assassins, but I do mean, but the only reason why I draw the line at 22 is because don't come to my class want to shoot a 22 and your goal is to buy a 9mm. Don't play with me.
You say you
do not play with me.
Right.
You're gonna shoot this 9mm and you're gonna like it. Okay.
Yep.
You bring now. If I'm providing a gun and ammo, you choose whatever the hell you want to do, as long as you say one thing to these people: this is not the gun you might buy for defense. Because it's a strong possibility. You're not gonna. The average person ain't buying a 22. The average person ain't. 22. Nah. But again, at least your educators are telling you, we're giving you this because we're the ones paying for the gun and we're the ones paying for the ammo.
Yeah.
So to keep your costs down,
dude,
we're gonna let you shoot 22.
I got stories, man.
I'm an asshole. I'm gonna say it. I'm an asshole. All I own is 38s, 9mm, and that's it. 38s and 9mm. I don't own it, and a 380s. And 380s. I got 380s. I own no 22. So John and Mike are very nice, and they'll let you do that.
Oh, no.
Well, no, my wife carries a 22.
When I first started out, I had like a plethora of 9mm. Like I would run a line of 5, and all of them would be 9mm. And here's this: I had about 15 mags because I would have to try to reload. So I spent money. Fuck that. I spent money on mags, like full capacity, and I still got those mags too. No, so I'm saying no. So you see why I went to 22, and this is pre-pandemic. Like I had 15 mags per gun. So you imagine the night before I'm loading up, I'm carrying all that. Because just imagine having to stop the line just to load.
Mike has got the strongest fingers of all time.
Yes. No, don't believe that shit. Where you at?
Oh no, he used the speed loader.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Hey, if you got the best grip.
Yes.
We got the best grip then.
Yes.
Yeah, he got grip.
Here I am. Pop. Flip that mag. Pop. Flip that mag. Pop. Flip that mag. So yes, this is amazing. Shouts out to Ublula. This is an amazing tool because in the military, we didn't have this shit.
No, we did not.
Oh, it was thumbs and shit.
You know what? God. And I kid you not, I have an Ublula for my handguns. If I have to do a competition, I gotta load a bunch of mags.
Yeah.
I got my Lula for that. If I'm teaching a class and I got a bunch of AR mags, I got a Lula for that. Dude, I even bought me a 60 round drum for my 5.56 300 blackout.
Okay.
So I got 5. So because 5.56 and 300 blackout can take the same mag, I was like, oh,
yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
Here's what
he got. He got the whole world in his mag.
I love it. Love it. Here's what I got to say about the people who say ammo is so expensive. This is the last thing I got to say about it. They're the same people who will go out to eat at a restaurant 2 nights a week, or pay for that newest, latest, greatest iPhone, or go get their nails done, or go to, get have somebody mow their fucking yard for them because they don't want to do that. They got no problem spending money on that kind of stuff. Netflix, Hulu, blah, 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 whatever, pay-per-view. But then they bitch about the price of ammo. And I'm like, okay, which one of these things is actually going to save your life? Which one of these things is actually going to protect your family and your kids and your wife or your husband? Not the nails being done, not the new hairdo, not the latest, greatest iPhone. That shit ain't going to save your life. That ammo that you're bitching about, that will save your life. And it's good quality training. And Marquise, you nailed it on the head. I think it was last Wednesday or a couple Wednesdays ago. I was watching and just commenting when you said people who go out and buy like $1,000 rifle, and I've been saying this for years too. They want to go out and buy $1,000 rifle and then call it good with no training whatsoever. They go, oh, I got a rifle. I'm good. Let's throw a laser. Let's throw a light. Let's throw all this bullshit on it. And they don't train. When really what they ought to do is go buy a $500 rifle and spend $500 in training with that $1,000.
Yep.
And I was like, yes, yes, yes. My whole family was like, Jake, shut up. You're talking too loud. Why are you screaming and yelling? We're trying to go to bed. And I'm like, because Marquise just fucking nailed it on the head right there. I don't want a $1,000 rifle coming up to my class. I want a $500 rifle with $500 willing to be trained with. That's what I want coming to my class. And I was like, yes, amen, brother. Finally, somebody gets it. They get it. And that's why I'm with you guys. That's why I'm with you.
And everything I got is the $10, $20 rule. For every dollar you spend on a gun, you need to spend $10 to $20 for your training.
Yes,
if you buy a $400 gun, you better spend at least either $800. I prefer $20. Go $20.
Yes, sir.
You need to spend $800 on training. You know what I'm saying? The more expensive the gun, the more shit you put on it is how much money you should spend. $20 per $1 you spend on your firearms and all the goofy ass accessories you put on it. Because if you
would have no idea how many people I get. You'd have no idea how many people I get buy a brand new rifle. They want to throw a brand new optic on it, brand new lights, brand new lasers, whatever sling, whatever tactical bullshit they find on YouTube, and then come to me and go, "Can you help me zero it in? What do I do? How do I take it apart? How do I clean it?" Right? And I'm like,
I love the ARs. I love the ARs with the PEC 15.
Hold on, before you guys continue, to Alpha Dad, I know you got to head out. You got to connect with me so we can go on ahead and plug your business, because I know he's got a business in Illinois. He's got tactical clothes and other kinds of stuff that he's got. So yeah I want to go on ahead and get that out there. So to Alpha Dad,
511 in Gurnee.
511 in Gurnee. 511 in Gurnee. 511 in Gurnee. Good. All right, to Alpha Dad, we're gonna definitely invite you to this forum. Yeah, Jacob, you're here, dude. As long as you want to be here. Oh my God, you're here. Christian. I thought I cussed. Shit. All right. Oh,
but yeah, I seriously love the ARs that come out and you see them, then they got a PEC 15. You know what I mean? Like they bought an $800, you know what I mean, AR, but then they spent $2,600 on a PEC 15 and have no idea how to use it.
Or why they would use it.
Yes, or like what its function is.
Dude, don't even know when. Don't even know when they should be using it, because it's just another tool.
You know what I mean? They seen someone off a SEAL team on Wednesday nights, you know what I mean, running the PEC 15.
Hey,
and now I want that. I need that.
Hey, there's some good actors on that SEAL team show, though.
Oh, no, I love that show.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
I love that
show. They've been well trained to be on that show.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Jason Pike talked about that too. Yeah. So there's three questions on here. Christy's got a question. I got that on the screen. And then they want us to talk about the Broward County, I hope I'm saying that right, the shooting with those sheriff's deputies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play the video after we answer this question from Christy. Hey, I have a question for you guys. Probably a dumb one. Are you supposed to shoot with one eye closed, or does that matter?
Christy, so are you talking about precision bullseye shooting or defensive shooting? If you want to define that, then obviously precision shooting, when you're trying to win a bullseye contest, then close an eye. You know what I mean? But if you are trying to save your life or save someone else's life, shoot with both eyes open.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you close one eye, you have lost half of your field of vision
Not half.
Sheep.
Not half. You lose up to up to 60%.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, up to 60%.
So she provides more context to this. Here we go. The reason I ask is I'm a right-handed shooter, but I can't close my left eye due to a childhood injury, so my aim is terrible. Do you train with your right eye? See, here's this. If you can't close it, then here's my suggestion. Put an eye patch over it, so that way you are not closing your eye. You're training your brain to use your right eye and become right eye dominant. Because I'm right-handed, but I'm left eye dominant. So, go ahead, Marquise.
So this is what I would say. Use the tools God gave you. This right here. Because technically, when you're aiming a gun, there is no eye dominance in real life. Mm-hmm. When you aim a gun, the gun should come straight out. Straight out. All right? There should never be let me put this gun over here or put this gun over here. Okay? If you bring the gun straight out, I would say turn your head to your left shoulder and slowly bring your head over until you can see through the rear sight and the front sight without blurred vision. Because what you can do to keep this eye open is let the bridge of your nose block your vision going straight. And this way you can still see with your peripheral out your left eye. I shoot that way on a regular basis because I'm what you humans call cross-eye dominant. So for me, that is the way I shoot. So what that means for those who don't know, the hand I shoot with versus the eye I use to aim is different. So I'm right-handed, left eye dominant. Me and people see me at the range, I shoot just like this. I always shoot just like this because what John was talking about is you lose 55 to 60% of your vision when you close your eye. And I know that sounds like an awkward number because you only got two eyes.
Right.
The reason why is that, and this is just my drawing of the eye. When you have your eye, you have your optic nerve. Your optic nerve is your blind spot because when light comes into your eye, it bounces off your retinas. It bounces off and comes back. Your optic nerve is a hole. So the light can't bounce off that. So when you close your eye, you lose 55 to 60% of your vision. So always tell people turn their head and use a bridge of your nose to block your vision. Because when you have time, distance, cover, and confidence,
you can do that.
You can close an eye, stand on your hands, do a headstand. You can do whatever you want if you got time, distance, cover, and confidence. Which is why in real life, if someone was to jump out and scare the hell out of you, you're never going to go, let me make sure the camera can see me. You're not going to go, ah!
No.
Your eyes are going to open up extremely wide because it wants to capture as much information and light as possible. That's why, if you, like a good example of this is the webcam. Like right now, when I lean forward, it dimmed down. When I step back, it wanted to capture more light so it can see me because it thought I was gone.
Right.
That's how your vision works. That's how your blind side works. Trust me, I can talk all day about how the human eyes work because literally when I teach combative shooting, and I mean close quarter combative shooting, everything is two eyes open and we're compressed.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And I move around, both eyes open, and I'm compressed the whole time.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we train in a close distance because, again, if you're 30 yards away from someone, you better figure out somewhere else to fucking get away.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to be shooting from 30 yards away. You know what I mean? You're shooting
and claim
30 yards
self-defense.
away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you better be having a full-blown war going on in front of you with a full-blown shootout.
You're going to have a hard time claiming self-defense.
And I say 30 yards. I mean, if you think about it, 30 yards, that's 90 feet away from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
10 shot from a football field.
You don't need to be engaging that person.
Right.
Escape.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of things that go, you know what I mean? Obviously, we train, in close distance. We talk about 21 feet. We know that's an antiquated system, but it is still an effective system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is antiquated, but it is still effective. Most self-defense shooting usually happen within between 9 to 15 feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which again, in that amount of time, majority of the people we have gone through our classes are not prepared to draw their firearm, get on target, execute 2 shots before the person is on them.
That 21-foot rule. Yes.
Stop it. It's not a rule.
21
it's
foot
a scenario.
Principal scenario. But
because
it's called the 21-foot rule.
That's because it's trash. And it was based off one thing. Old ass holsters, old ass guns, and old ass trains of thought.
Yes.
When you got modern age people, again, I'm not going to just throw out some shit and say, yeah, we got this. I'm pretty sure all 4 of us can play the 21-foot rule and end up successful.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
If it's a rule,
fair enough.
That means this cannot be broken and it cannot be done.
Now, that shit can be broken.
But if I tell you scenario,
I'll break that shit.
Again, and I used to do it we used to do it blindfolded.
Yeah.
We used to have to wait until we hurt. Man, let's do it. And it sounds crazy, but it was because there's no real way to teach it or train it, because if you're aware it's going to happen, you're already anticipating what you're going to do. So blindfolded, it was like, yo, we got to get used. I got to feel vibrations in the air. I got to get my avatar state.
Using your 6th sense.
You know what I'm saying? I got to get my avatar state going. I hope I get my aim.
Use the force.
Right. Use the force. Uh-oh.
That's why I said, I mean, it's an antiquated system, and we know that, but it's still an effective tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things. Most self-defense incidents happen within 9 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
And look
so
at, and I
cannot pull, if you cannot obviously draw your firearm and execute within 21 feet, what the hell you think is going to happen at 10 feet?
And look at, and I hate to say it, look at police shootings. If you really want to play this game, look at police shootings and the fact that, what is it, between 0 and 30 feet? No, 6. No, I would say 6 to 30 feet. There's a 5% chance of hitting, 18% chance of hitting their target. 18%, with 5% of that being a lethal hit.
Right.
Those are trained law enforcement officers.
It's just because you hit.
Oh, let's not go there, because we already know training for the law enforcement is like so subpar.
I'm not doing this out loud.
Hey.
Let's watch the Broward County shooting. Seeing as to how we're talking about that, that's a great segue for this, and then we'll push on. Here we go.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. Sound should be up.
Hell, you don't need sound for it.
Oh no, you want the sound.
There's no sound on this, but we can see it.
And that's what saved their life right there. In that bottom right corner. That's what saved his life.
But watch this though.
He comes around and
he shot the foot.
They lost sight of him.
Oh.
He's got an AR pistol.
But watch what happens next, and they better show it. Yes.
Empties the mag.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Yep, literally empties the mag in them.
You see what saved their life, though?
What's that?
If you look at the bottom right-hand corner, the mag dropped.
Yeah, right. Well, that's not it. But
oh, that's not the mag drop?
No. That's I don't know what that is.
It's a piece of poo.
But oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk about that from a traffic stop perspective. Granted, they appeared to be, because there were, when you look at the overhead scene, and there was an overhead scene, you have 2 cars. So obviously they're what Chicago would call 99 units. They're riding by themselves, suburbs. That's par for the course. You're always by yourself. And you got traffic stop, and then a person came up. Another deputy came up and assisted. They're already outnumbered. One person or two, or perhaps in a car. One's right here, one's right here. They probably should have
Plus
called
a
more
kid.
backup. Huh?
Plus a kid.
Plus a kid. Yeah, kid. That part.
There's a kid in the back seat.
Everything about this I just don't like, because he has a very lackadaisical stance about him. And I just think now he's on guard, but I just think that his presence, first of all, let's talk about it. When we look out of shape and out of weight, overweight because we are, that already gives one perspective or one, perception. That's what I meant. Perception about I can take this guy. And it doesn't help when you're acting like what they perceive you to be.
Yep. And if I remember right, so the guy that's up by the car, up in front of everyone, he is actually talking at different points. Because I remember hearing the sound on this one. I think he's talking at different points with the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to calm the child down. Obviously, you're kind of joking with him a little bit. And I get that. You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't want to scare the crap out of a kid. You know what I mean? Because you want them to obviously know the police are there to help them. And we can go down again. We can go down that road of all time. But the second he opens that door, you just had it. You know what I mean? It just opens up a whole plethora of bad things.
But you see the first reaction of what he did when the door opened up?
Yeah.
What was the first thing he did, the cop?
Yeah, no. He's sitting right there.
I think he
right there.
He moved away from his gun.
What?
He moved, tried to grab his gun, which is a default thing too.
So
go ahead.
And that's the part that always gets me, even when I've trained cops next to vehicles. I'm like, why is your first default is to drop back and grab your gun? There's a door. I will bless you with this door so hard. The door opens up. Pulls that sumbitch back.
But here's this, Marquise. This is the problem that I have right here. Look, the window is down.
Which means you can see into the car.
Yes. So why don't you see his hands? And why isn't your fight like we've allowed politicians and politics to soften the police and cause you to avoid using the tactics that are necessary to assist in saving your life. You can see into the car. Why don't you see his hands?
Yep, because he's too busy trying to be compassionate for the child.
Yes.
And
look,
loses the control of the stop.
I'm gonna say it, and I know it's controversial, but though I love kids, fuck that kid. Look, I'm more. Hey, these are the comments of Mike Brown and Mike Brown alone. These are not Jacob. Hold on. John, Jacob, Marquise. I would say Jingleheimer Schmitz. I swear to God, it can't out. But these are the comments of Mike Brown and Mike Brown alone. You're more than welcome to cancel me at MikeBrownsClass.com.
Love it. Love it.
But
love you, brother.
Look, I'm just saying, this is the moment where, first of all, this is already the vehicular fatal funnel right there. But Marquise is right. You put yourself right in the line of being shot at when you got here. And then the door flew open, just like Marquise said, I'll bless you with this door. Before he tried to get out, if he was here, he could have kicked that door right back on him, dumped those rounds right into him right here.
Yep.
And what do we always talk about on this channel? We say specifically this: self-defense does not work if you're putting yourself in harm's way in the first place. The whole point of self-defense is to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you have to defend your life.
Right.
Yep.
Again, when I look at videos like this, when I look at what happened in Wisconsin, what's that dude name? The one that got shot 7 times in the back.
Jacob Blake.
Him too.
Yeah.
When you look at these scenarios,
you let him walk to the car. Oh my God.
Yeah. Why am I? You're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to shoot. You're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to shoot. Yeah. Why are you putting yourself in a situation where you're going to have to shoot? I feel like this video, and again, we're Wednesday night quarterbacking, okay? But that's how this shit works. Yeah. We're not there, which is why we can analyze it.
I thought today was Tuesday.
Huh?
Is today Tuesday?
Today's Wednesday, brother. It's okay.
Today's Wednesday? No shit.
We get it.
So, I'll hug you later. But this is what we're talking about. Yeah. I'm sorry. Which would have looked worse on the 6 o'clock news? Man gets shot after surprising cops with an automatic weapon versus man goes to hospital crushed by door for being stupid.
Right. I'd have loved to see him kick that door.
Ooh, dude, sweet. And I want him to scream, "This is Sparta."
Yeah.
I need that. Like, what you doing? This is Sparta.
And it's like these types of Monday night, Wednesday night quarterbacking situations. I hate it when cops, in my opinion, are and not all. We won't generalize it, but it kind of is all. These Monday night quarterbacking situational conversations are needed because this is where the training takes place. When you converse about what should have been done differently, you get out there, you practice on it. How many times have we seen Kyle Dinkheller? How many times have we seen that? Where, if those of you all don't know, the deputy who pulled over, the Vietnam vet who clearly told him, "I'm a Vietnam combat veteran," and you survive, shit, I'm already ready to go because you're here. I'm ready to shoot. Just so many times of just using commands. He got himself killed. Being afraid. Here we go. Being afraid to do the job and say, that's why I love The Wire. Fuck the bosses. At this point in time, I'm on the stop. I have to make an executive decision. I can get out of this disciplinary later. I can get out of that case. I can get out of that CR. I can get out of that civilian complaint, but I can't get out of that casket. Fuck that shit. There are things that we can do beforehand. Call for more backup. Get strength in numbers. I don't give a fuck how it looks. I will suppress this fucking situation.
Yes.
So many people on the scene. Well, what about our rights? I love your rights too, but fuck that. I gotta live, and your life matters. Our life matters. We gotta be secure so we can rise to that highest level of self-actualization and problem solving. I'm not here for you to understand that shit. I'm not here for you to like it. You're gonna do what I ask you to do. I'm gonna treat you with respect. You're gonna treat me with respect, or you're gonna fucking die. That's what it is. Report me. I don't give a shit. I'll be okay. I'll survive this one. That's what it is.
You can't report on a dead man.
Man, I'm telling you, look, and it's just all this soft ass shit. And at the end of the day, guess what we give the cops? Thoughts and prayers. No, goddammit, no more thoughts and prayers. No more fucking thoughts and prayers. Flood that fucking scene with officers so that a person can think twice, like, fuck, I'm outnumbered.
Hey, Mike.
Go ahead.
So I've been sued something like 82 times, right?
Shit.
Never lost one. Never lost a lawsuit. As a tactical unit commander, as a SWAT team unit commander, an officer, right? Never lost a lawsuit. I'm not bragging, but I'm saying you can almost expect that. As a law enforcement officer, you can expect to be sued.
Yep.
If somebody's watching this who has a concealed carry license and they have to use that firearm in defense of themselves or others, they can expect to be sued.
Oh, for sure.
And it really depends on your training and your background and how you explain what you did, right? To the reasonable person standard.
Yes.
Can I convince somebody that given the circumstances and if they were in my situation, they would have done the same thing.
Yes.
That's, the reasonable person standard. And we can watch videos like this and learn from them. That's why it's important that we use these for training, because we can say, okay, if you are a concealed carry license holder, if you're just a plain Jane civilian and you get pulled over by the police and you wonder why the police do things the way they do on a traffic stop, it's because of shit like this.
Yes. Yes.
Right? You wonder why I got one coming up from the left and the right. You wonder why I'm touching the trunk. You wonder why I'm calling for backup. I don't know who you are, what mindset you're in, how many are in the car. I don't know nothing about it in the car. And I'm going to go home at the end of the day.
Yep.
Right?
And I want you to go home at the end of the day.
Nobody wants to get shot over a traffic stop. Not you, not me. Nothing on a traffic stop is worth getting shot over. So comply with the officers, and everybody goes home safe at the end of the day.
But
if you don't like the way I did something, you can always complain later.
But you know what? I love it. This is the importance of, and we got to land this plane because we are kicking on two hours. This is such a great conversation. I hate for it to end, which is why you guys got to come back. And those of you all watching on YouTube, like, subscribe. We're going to come back next Wednesday and talk about this. But I'll say mine, and then you guys' final thoughts, and we'll land it. This is why it is so important for you to watch who you are going to as the instructor. I absolutely love it when, look, we could talk to her blue in the face. I love it when I get to shoot my students. I love it when I put them in scenarios and not literally shoot them, but like CO2, BB gun, airsoft. And you could just, those of you on YouTube, go watch the videos where they, I didn't expect that to happen. Good. Now you fucking understand. That's the type of shit that they need to be exposed to at force-on-force training, because you could tell them, but they won't fucking know till they feel it.
Yep.
Then when they feel it, that's the shit that saves fucking lives.
Yes. Yes.
If you don't have the type of civilian trainer, or if you police trainers out there are fucking your troops, not giving them real force on force, that's why they're getting to this dumb shit.
Yes.
Yep.
Amen.
And I've told many departments, I'm like, you need to stop playing and leaving shoot house training to your SWAT guys. No, put your beat cops in shoot house training. Well, they don't need that. They're the ones answering domestics.
Yes. They're the first fucking one there. Yes, they need it.
Yes.
And I've argued with many departments about it. Well, you're saying that because you're a shoot house instructor. No, I'm saying that because as a shoot house instructor, I hate working with the SWAT guys, because this is their bread and butter. This is what they do. Yes. I want my beat cops who don't do this to come out here
and will flag the shit out of each other like all the fucking time.
Hey, man, I'm like, when you got that unit who knows each other, who works with each other, dude, you can literally walk in and just tell, how long y'all been together? Oh, about 3 or 4 years. Dude, that's a marriage.
Yeah.
I know that you like your peanut butter and jelly with the peanut butter on top and jelly on the bottom. I know you like your coffee black with a touch with one sugar. I know that shit about you because we work together. But if I take two beat cops and say, yo, you're about to walk into a scenario where you're about to walk into a domestic, I want you to see and look how the story unfolds. Go. Wait, what? We don't know how many? Nope. You don't know how many threats. You don't know how many safety. You don't know none of that. I want you to go in here like you would. Matter of fact, this is the info I give you. I'm going to give you what you're going to receive if I was a dispatcher.
Yep, exactly.
Which is information. Okay. Which is information versus intelligence.
Yep.
Intelligence is vetted. Information is given.
Right. Yes.
And when you do this training, set up the training that there are some of the scenarios that are no shoots. Don't make and this pisses me off because I know some companies that do it. Don't make adult arcades. And you know what I mean by that, fellas. Adult
Release
arcade, which every scenario is a shoot scenario.
Yes.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's a no shoot scenario. 99% of the time, is a no shoot. Don't make a no shoot a shoot, because then you're going to jail.
It's funny because if you think about it, so everyone obviously in their lifetime watched Cops. You know what I mean? The TV show.
Yeah.
How many times did we see beat officers stack up on a door, had to figure out what they were going to do while stacking up on the door?
Yeah.
Then they enter the house, okay? And the first room they come to, suspect that they're looking for is in there. So they all rush that one room and leave the rest of the house.
And nobody's watching rear, nothing.
And
No
everybody
one's
already
the rest of
behind
the
that
house.
door.
You know what I mean? Once they got him in cuffs, you know what I mean? Now we're going to go check the rest of the house. Now you're already dead if they wanted you to be.
Yep.
I'm Sheriff John Bonnell, and this is. I
mean, then that's a publicized show. Like, you know what I mean? We're talking about publicized. Everyone's watching this.
And you know what? And I know we said we got to go, so I apologize. But like, I've seen instructor-led classes where the people knew what threats were in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And when they walked into a house clearing class, they walked in and went straight to the threat. Blind corner.
Yep.
Blind corner right there.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna tell you, I can be honest. I got my ass reamed in one of my classes because they was like, well, you're moving too slow. No offense. I don't shoot into a room until I can clear both corners real quick. And that's because we had team dynamics. And I was like, well, no offense. I've never worked with them. So, well, Marquise, you're going too slow. I got the threat. And when I said it was because we did a drill where it was direct to threat. So you already told me how many people you gave me my intel. So when I walked in, I saw threat. I put about 6 to 8 in a person's eyeball, and then I went to go look inside the deep corner. And it was like, Marquise, man, you're moving too slow. I don't know them. I don't know that once I hit this person and I go in here that I know someone's going to check behind me. I don't know you.
Right. You ever
I don't know you.
I used to be the one that I'd sit in that deep corner, and the second you didn't check it, I hit you with a book.
We used to smack him on the head. We used to tap him on the head.
I would literally chuck a book at you from the corner of the room, and it wasn't no paperback. I'm talking hard-sided
encyclopedia.
No, I fucking just hit you with a book.
Yeah.
Britannica. Yeah. So encyclopedia that ass.
So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this as kindly as possible. I feel as instructors, teach what you are experienced in.
Yes.
Don't teach what students want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's how I'm always gonna feel. Teach what you know. And I mean, when I say no, I'm talking about either you've done it, you've trained it, and you've thoroughly evaluated it.
Yes.
Don't be going out. Don't. So my thing is this: teach what you know. Don't teach what students want. Because teaching what students want means that you're trying to fill up classes. You're trying to put warm bodies in seats and make money.
And get them 5-star reviews. Let me tell you something, boy.
Man, fuck us.
Yes. Who gives a fuck? Yes. Who gives a fuck?
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I did.
You know I don't curse like that. You know I don't curse like that. But no, F a 5-star review. I'd rather you hate me and learned
and live
and live about it. Yes.
As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I'd rather you hate me, learn, and I'm that voice in the back of your head that showed you. Didn't he say something about not going that way?
Yeah.
Instead, going this way so I can avoid trouble.
Yeah.
I'd rather be your Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Which we might get sued by Disney now because of that. But I'd rather be your Jiminy Cricket than to be your friend who's going to sit here and BS you and say, hey man, I feel that right now with what you know, You got this.
No, the fuck you don't. You're gonna die.
Right. Like I said, if you believe your concealed carry class is enough.
Concealed to carry.
If you feel you're concealed to carry or you're concealed and carry,
it's real. There's
is
people
enough.
there. I'm telling you, there's people out there that say that.
I ask one favor. Please add me to your will. That's all I'm asking. Please add me to your will. I love free shit. I'd rather get free shit from people who believe they know what they're doing than any government official, because there's no such thing as free from government officials. It's called taxes.
Right. Well, this has been a hell of a show. We are gonna Jacob.
Can I say something?
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a couple things I want to say. I'm tired. I'm off duty now. I want to say a couple things that I missed earlier in the show. I hope the person that asked this question is still watching. If you are cross-eyed dominant, or if you don't know to aim with your left eye or your right eye, and you ask that question, what do I do? This is my answer. Hit the fucking target. I don't care if you use left eye, right eye, one eye, both eyes, no eyes. I don't care. Because in a real life situation, your body won't let you line up with one eye or the other eye or both eyes. Yeah. You will just do what naturally you do. And as long as you can hit the target, I don't care. Most situations, I think, are between 0 and 3 feet. For civilians in the use of deadly force, most situations happen between 0 and 3. So at that point, it doesn't matter. Check me if I'm wrong. Correct me. I don't care. Please do. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I think it's within 0 to 3 feet.
2 to 5 yards, 6 to 15, but it varies. You're right, though. You all three, yeah.
Put it this way. It's fucking close. It's so close that number one, you won't have time to worry about sight alignment and sight picture. And number two, your body won't let you do sight alignment and sight picture. So as long as you can hit the target, I don't care if you're using left eye, right eye, one hand, the other hand, both hands. I don't care. Just hit the fucking target, stop the threat. That's all that matters. We can practice. We can worry about fundamentals later. You know, come back and we'll work on we can perfect fundamentals later.
Christy's still here. She heard you.
The next thought was, oh shit, now I forgot. Somebody mentioned SWAT teams, and then I wanted to chime in on something. I forgot now what that was. My next thought was this: 16 hours ain't enough. What I tell every single class at the end of the class, I tell them this: imagine you're 16 years old and you just got your driver's license. So now you are a licensed driver because you passed the driver's test. Are you ready to run out and qualify for the Indy 500? No. Have you yet driven through the Rocky Mountains at night through a blizzard? No.
No, hell no.
Have you driven through downtown fucking Atlanta through 10 lanes of freeway rush hour traffic through downtown Atlanta, Georgia? No. All you did was the bare minimum to get your license. That don't mean that you're a good driver.
Right.
Right? So to do those things requires more training, more practice, more experience. And by the way, there's a difference between practice and training.
Right.
We'll talk about that later if you want to.
Yeah.
I mentioned that, like after a 2-day class with me, you're kind of like the little kid in the public swimming pool. You're that little kid with the floaties on their arms and the little unicorn ducky inner tube thing around their waist over in the splash park. That's you with 16 hours of training. You got the floaties and you're in the splash park. And you look up and you see somebody doing a double backflip off the high dive at the adult pool. And you go, damn, I want to do that. I want to do that someday. Well, if you're got floaties and you're in the splash park, you're not yet qualified. You don't yet have that training and that experience to do double backflips off the fucking high dive. But you can. It's possible for you to do that. You just need more practice and more training. And that's kind of where I leave off my classes. I asked them to come back. I begged them to come back. If you don't like me, cool. I don't care. It's no skin off my nose. Go train with somebody. Find a trainer somewhere with somebody and continue your training. If it's not with me, I don't care. It's not my life. It's your life, right? It's your life you want to, or your family you want to affect. If you don't like me and my personality, I don't care. Go somewhere else. Please continue your training with somebody somewhere. And I'll leave it at that. Been an honor. It was a great night. I love you guys. I love these classes on Wednesdays.
Sure.
I've been going through this whole night thinking it was Tuesday. So now I know I would have been looking for you guys tomorrow night. I would have been looking for you tomorrow night. Now I've been mad because I missed you.
And then he would have been like, but I was on yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. Jacob would definitely be back along with John Marquise. This has been a great show. Those of you all who stuck it out, we see Chrissy still here, William still here, Rob. What's going on, sir? All right, let's keep this going. Next Wednesday. You said I tell all my nieces, just because you get your license does not mean you know how to drive. It takes years to develop instincts because you drive for people on the road. Correct. So correct. All right. Last thoughts, John, Marquise, Jacob. Shout out your business so we can go on ahead and land this plane.
John with Guardian Concepts, down in Bourbonnais, Illinois. For those that don't know, it's about 60 miles south of Chicago. Classes coming up. I got a concealed carry class October 2nd and 3rd. I'm doing an advanced training level 1 and 2 October 23rd. We are doing a TECC class on October 24th. For those that don't know, that is the Tactical Emergency Casualty Care Certification class. Using tourniquets, chest seals, stopping the bleeds, packing wounds, all the good stuff, the real stuff that we need nowadays. And then, so that's essentially what we got going on in October. You can find us on Facebook, Guardian Concepts LLC. We got our website, www.guardian-concepts.com. And my number is down below for anybody that wants it. Pleasure talking with y'all this evening.
Marquise.
All right, so y'all shitting on me by now. I hope so. I'm Mike's little brother. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm the youngest one in the damn room, apparently. He said 85. I'm like, shit.
What?
All right, so I'm Marquise Miranda, owner of P6 Firearms Training. We do the concealed carry course, and you're welcome, William. I was making sure you saw that it was myelination. Myelination. We do the concealed carry course. We do advanced courses. We also do knife training because I love knife. Knife is blessings. I love it. And we also do consulting, just to make sure you guys understand that you're buying the right firearm and understand that you're buying the right holster and things like that. You know, we're always available just for questions and answers, things like that. So hit us up. We're on Facebook. And yep, we on Facebook.
Marquise is not the social media icon.
I'm just not, dude. I will when I become an adult.
Yeah.
What's this newfangled thing you talk about right here?
Hey.
I'm going to give Chrissy the last. She said, I will brag on myself on this. I did outshoot my hubby, shooting a .338 Lapua over 150 yards. I was 2 centimeters from the orange dot target. He was 1 inch off. That was me using both eyes open. Good job, Chrissy.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
gangster.
Nice. Outstanding.
I knew she was a G. Don't you let the wolf in the lower left-hand corner make you think that it's different. I don't know. All right.
I will say that it's phenomenal, Christy. You're kind of holding that bear in with that 338 Lapua. You need to stretch those legs, baby girl.
Yes. Yep.
That 338. She meant to travel.
Man.
Yep.
Like I'm still trying to get 1,000 yards off my 308.
I'll say go to Marksman Training Center up in Michigan. You can stretch your legs there, or the site out in Mount Carroll.
Yeah.
The old Blackwater training site. You can stretch your legs there as well if you want to get some true long range training to let that 338 truly live.
I think ISRA has 700 too.
They don't. They actually
cut it off.
They changed the size of the target to simulate 600 yards.
But then we lost it in a boating accident.
So ISRA actually changes the size of the target to simulate the extended range.
Nah, that's bull. That's okay. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So I love the ISRA range. You know what I mean? The ISRA's got a great range with a lot of stuff that you can do there. But as far as distance, once you get out past, I think it's like 5 or 6, they actually change the size of the target to simulate the distance. But that's why I said, like, Marksmanship Training Center in Michigan, they offer long-range classes on obviously how to check all your environmentals, sighting in, you know what I mean, getting on target, your ballistic coefficiencies. Again, they get into all of it. The site out in Mount Carroll, the old Blackwater training grounds for those that are previous contractors like myself. That's another good place to where you can get out there and you can stretch some legs on some long range stuff if you really want to. As long as I did see her comment, obviously.
God damn.
Goddamn boating accidents. The Kankakee, man. I swear, there's like so many firearms in the Kankakee River, it's not even funny.
And here I am just trying to zero my Super Soaker at P3X5. I'll get around to it someday. I was trying to get the weapons recovered in this boating accident during my Gravy Seal mission. All right.
Hey, Mike, if you want a 100-yard range, you can come down here and we can get you zeroed in.
Oh yeah, that's it. We
can do the 100-yard on the outside range,
and then I'll make sure I play Twister, get it wet.
Shit happens, man.
Pun intended. Pun intended. Pun intended. All right, we're out. You guys stay safe. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in next Wednesday morning talk for John, Jacob, Marquise, Jingleheimer, and Schmitz.
Hey, can I? Hey, you left me out.
I did. I said,
you gotta let Jacob talk.
Oh shit, Jacob, go. My bad.
Damn. Hi, my name is Jacob Null, Viper Defense. I'm down here at Southern Illinois, God's country. If you're south of Springfield, you come look me up. Y'all are so far north, I don't even know where you are. I've never even heard of half these places y'all talking about. I don't even know where they are. But I teach basic handgun, advanced handgun, concealed carry license for renewal classes, rifle, shotgun, either basic or advanced. I've got an outdoor range where we can run a gun out to 500 yards. And look me up. If you're down here south of Springfield, 20 years of special operations, 32 years in uniform total. And I'm just trying to help out, help with law-abiding citizens, learn how to protect and defend themselves. That's all it's about for me. I'm just trying to help.
I'm going to have to drive down to Jacob.
And brother, it was an honor. It has been an honor and a pleasure spending the night with you guys. And Marquise, John, and Mike, I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no problem, Jacob.
All right. You said William thinks that Jacob is in front.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
He said, I think he said, what did you say, William, the first time about making sure that I forgot? He got to post a comment. I'm tired. I don't even know what I was about to say.
I can't see comments. I'm not seeing the comments. I can barely see the screen. So I don't know what's going on.
Christy, no. Look, Jacob has been color commentary for real. I thought I cussed. Hell yeah. I love it. It's a wonderful addition.
Hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
But you know what?
Cool.
But I don't. I am what I am. I don't care. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I don't give a shit. It's not my problem. Not my problem. There.
Marquise is the one that's trying to curb his cursing. He's
Yes.
right.
I'm the one.
Hey, brother. I'm sorry if I was a bad influence on you tonight.
No. It's good.
You're a better man than I am.
It's good. All right. We're signing off. See you guys next Wednesday. Until then, peace.
Peace out. Peace.